It's our favorite to Shabuze. It's happy Sunday. It is your boy Kabavovo, aka Vaveliche. The PG Kubela. It is the Sunday, 20th of June 2021. That day, Yamachita, our Chama time, we were celebrating the Father's Day. This day is all about the man. It's all about the guys that the society belongs, or believes in and trust. So this day, we came into a space to do nothing but to do what we always do, to encourage you and motivate you and tell you that it's not so bad as a guy, you're not doing so bad and you can do better. And for those who are not doing right, we are here for you today to make you improve in whatever that you do and make sure that you do the great thing and you become the great father and the best father that you can be. Stay with us. This show is quite interesting today. We've got a guest, live guest, as I always told you guys that one day is one day. This is Oyenza Lento, and it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna tell you now as yet who's our guest, but it's a special guy. You're gonna find out just in a moment when we do our topic of today. We're gonna go to the verse, and after the verse, we're going to tell you what we're talking about today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's over for you too. We've come to the time of the show where we give you the verse of today. The verse of today says, Proverbs chapter 1 verse 8. Hear, son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching. This is the verse for Father's Day. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching. That's the verse that we have today. This week has been a very sad week for me. Personally, as your host, Kabavovo, I've lost a friend of mine due to COVID. This COVID is real affair too, and is really stealing people from us. So I just want to take a couple of seconds as a matter of respect to my dear brother, a great father, Boisile, Victor. Let's Ndita, Mr. Ndita, let's bow our heads for a few seconds in honor of this great man. His kids will be celebrating Father's Day today without without him. So let us bow our heads for a few seconds in honor of him. Amen. To everyone that have lost their father recently due to COVID, as we're celebrating a Father's Day today, that they will be without their fathers. As we've over talk, we feel for you and we say condolences to you. May the good Lord strengthen you and keep you strong and comfort you during this time. Let's carry on with the show, and like I said, that we've got a guest today. Let's carry on and push the show and put this show to rest. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna be right back with your topic. It's our fair to Shabuzet. Welcome back. We are at that time of the show where we present the topic of today, being the 20th of June 2021 on the Sunday of the Father's Day. Today we're talking to all the fathers in general, but let me give you a background of what inspired this topic that we're talking about today. In my observation, as you know that Gule show, everything is kulumangayo. It's genuine things, it's day-to-day things. You know, we're not coming here and reading you a book and janjan. We're telling it like it is and what is happening in our society. What the guys are facing and what is happening these days. Guys are struggling with the fact that, remember when we are still young and growing up, you will meet a girlfriend, you will pregnate her, and you will have kids with Ilondozana, with your girlfriend, and stuff like that. At a later stage, you get married, and then you build a family as well, and then you have kids of your own, and then when you have kids of your own, now there's kids outside the marriage and there's kids inside the marriage, and all these kids, they have a right to your fatherly teachings, and being there and being present for them and protection. Do you understand? And sometimes what I've observed is that most guys that find themselves in that situation, what they do is they want to make up for the external kids that are outside marriage. And now, as a result, they want to buy them expensive gifts, they want to do crazy stuff, of which is good if you can afford it. But in most cases, you find that they are doing that at the expense of the current family that they're having. As a result, their marriage gets affected and damaged, do you understand? So what I'm trying to say and what we're talking about here is that you as a man, you need to have a wisdom in terms of giving balance, in terms of your life, in terms of making sure that the kids that are outside and the inside and everything in your life balances. Because in everything, besides even the kids and besides the marriage and everything, as a man, it is your priority and your responsibility to bring balance in your life. That is very, very important. Here's the thing that I want to read for you is that most guys, okay, let me start by saying this before I'm going to introduce the guest now that we have, as we're having a special day today. When do you start to be a father? Most people will say different things, For me, you start to be a father as soon as you found out that your woman is pregnant, because that is where the other things you ease up on everything. By the time, because the pregnancy takes a long time, it's about 9 months, by the time the baby is delivered, you are already kind of like, psychologically you are ready to be a father. I think most of the things that causes problems in fatherhood is that we as men, we tend to neglect this, this responsibility psychologically and attending to this. Because remember now, as a machita, you used to spend your money as you wish. Now when the child comes, you need to now support other people and think for other people. But here's the problem that happens when you do not attend to that. As men, the study have proven that men go through depression. It can be a lack of social emotion support, it's a stress and changes in your relationship, a lack of sleep, loss of grief, and meeting expectation and negative of traumatic birth experience. Those things, they count into a man's life. That is why this pregnancy thing and this fatherhood, you need to attend to it as soon as possible. And the thing is, some of the people, they begin to be a father as soon as they are 12 or even 16, because some of you have to father your siblings. As long as you have siblings, your parents pass on as a firstborn. Now you slip in the shoes of being a father. And then when you don't attend to these things and when you don't groom yourself psychologically and mentally, what do? Do you understand? And some, they get married to women that have got kids, but now they don't have kids, and automatically they become fathers to those kids. And then if you are not well equipped and well taught and trained in this fatherhood thing, then what happens to you? Without any waste of time, let me introduce our guest today. Today we are blessed to have the presence of my brother Homo, Mr. Piri. He's a businessman, he's a father, he's a husband, and he's a DJ, and he's a social guy. He's all in about. He's a great guy, and I like his thinking pattern. But anyway, you will see that as we engage with him now on the show. My brother, Welcome to Ivovo Talk.
Okay.
Sharp, sharp.
Okay.
Happy Sunday to you. And,
Happy Sunday to you.
And happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day to you. I'm up.
And
So early in the morning.
Thank you so much for doing that for us. We really appreciate that. It means a lot to us, to me as Ukaba Vova, and to us as Ivovo Talk, and to our viewers as well at home. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Without any waste of time, let's get into this. As you know, that is Father's Day today. Today, in Ivovo Talk, we're talking about a subject called Fiyom. It is a father inside and outside of marriage, of which, due to experience, let me get comfortable because this talk is going to be, due to experience, I hope you have wisdom in that area. But before we get to that, just tell us about, I know about you, but the viewers, they don't know. Tell us about who you are and how did you grow up. But I need you to tell us about that, pasting a father in your life in terms of how you fathered, because remember, this thing is all about men, it's all about fathers and fatherhood.
Thank you for having me. Like, I've known you for years and I've never thought you would put me here. and I'm up, huh?
That's my brother.
And I've got my Sunday mass. My Sunday mass before anything. But thank you for having me. And to answer your question, my name is Homo. Those that know me, they will call me GP. Those that don't know me will call me Homo with a K. And I always look and I think, oh yeah. I'm about to turn 40. I'm married. First, I'm a dad to kids that I love. And I love. I think that's why you called me.
For sure.
Because we've always been out, being friends, being boys, and you always say to me, why do you like talking about your kids? Because these are my kids, and they
especially your daughter.
Oh, I love my daughter. I love all my kids, as a matter of fact.
No, I know.
Born and bred in a tiny town called Seamine. My dad used to be a mine manager, and they were mining tin, and I think that's where a lot of things were shaped into me about having a dad who's a mine manager, and we're going through transition from apartheid, Butaki, and you can't wake up and go to school because the miners are striking, and your dad is a mine manager. He's also scared. I was born through a dad who's from Malawi by born. He got married to a South African woman, my mom. Call her Matra. She is,
For sure.
And I've got 5 brothers. 1 passed on. There's 4 of us. And I call them my soldiers, because if I was to faint right now, they know I'm here. And growing up was, when you grow up, things are fine. Jiggy, things are not fine.
Yeah.
But you don't understand, because now we're moving from apartheid, we're coming into
a new
era. Your father's now been looked at. He doesn't fit in. And worst of all, also Malawi. Also Malawi, and you have to acclimatize, you have to grow, you have to understand exactly what's happening. So those are the type of things that I would like to think they shape me. Because my mom, my dad, my uncles, my grandmother, my grandfather, and both sides, paternal, maternal, they were there. And you grow up, jiggy, you are now into democracy. You realize that this is what I want to do. You've got your own ambitions. You've got your parents that will say to you, no, you're not gonna go there. And if you remember what you would know, back then there was no democracy in a child.
For sure.
And a father.
You were told this
is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. And if you sabatli, switch off. If ubatra, switch on. You know, and I would never change that for anything. And I'll tell you why. It shaped me. I still take all, I don't want to say it lessons because nobody was teaching me anything, but I would say experiences of who I was and who I am today. I'm blessed to have 4 of my brothers that if I was to collapse right now, they will say, wait. They will call my wife and say, wait, where's my brother? And they will come in. I'm blessed that I still have my mom. And my dad is late. May his soul rest in peace. But I'm glad for one thing. I still have the teachings from him. I'm blessed with a daughter. Her name is Tlotlo, 16. I'm blessed with Khosi. I'm blessed with Ufense. And I would never change that for you.
Talking about your daughter, your first one, the daughter. Just tell us the story about that one. What happened? Just give us a brief.
So you want me to tell you how I made my daughter?
No, please. Please don't. No, basically the question is, I understand that you are blessed with a daughter when you were young, and that was before you got married, right?
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't say I was young, but I think my first child, she's not, I wouldn't even say she's not, but my first, when I knew to be called a dad, it was through my daughter. And that was 16 years ago. She actually turned 16 now in March.
It was 2005.
Yeah. And back then you just going around, and you're just doing whatever that you want to do.
Sure.
But I still remember when I was told that I'm about to be a father. I still remember when the day that she was conceived, because it's a funny story, actually. I was at an interview at Highfield Studios. I think I would have been a DJ today.
But you are a DJ. Not a radio DJ.
Yeah, but I would have been more bigger. And I recall when I went to that interview, I said to them, guys, can I please not switch off my phone? I remember we didn't have WhatsApp and never mix it. I don't even.
Yeah, mix it for
mix it. And I said to them, guys, can I please not switch off my phone? And I had to go there because my heart was, I wanted to do this thing. I wanted to be there. And
yeah, for sure.
And and I said, can I not switch off my phone because I'm expecting
a serious call.
Yeah, I'm about to be a father. That's exactly what I said to them. I can tell you the names of the people that were in the interview, but I'm not because I don't even think they even remember me. But it mattered so much because I knew that 1, I'm about to be a dad. 2, I have to have this thing. I mean, it's Highfield, Baba. 2005. Highfield. You can't
just do your own.
Yeah, you can't just go in and out and say, "Oh, it's not my interview. I'm going." So they all said to me, like, "Oh, sure, go ahead." 5 minutes into that interview, a call came in, and I said to them, "I apologize. This is the call that I spoke about." And I knew right there and then that I don't think I'll get this job. But you're in a job and you're first princess.
I feel
there's nothing that you're going to. It's fine, I'm alive. Because I didn't know then, but I know now that you can lose a job but your family will always be.
For sure. Having this beautiful young daughter as your first, daughter, and you are having your wife. I've seen it in biological mother and a daughter. They've got that relationship, nice and all those things, but somehow, some way, it becomes a competition in terms of the mother feeling like the daughter is taking her space in your life, So now it's even now worse here in your situation, because now we are talking about an external. Do you understand?
Sure.
No matter even though that your wife loves the daughter and as her own and all those things. So that is what I want to understand. How do you now, as a man, balance that situation and make sure that everyone is comfortable and is happy and is got your time?
Sure. You see, I think we need to put in things into perspective, right? And when I say things into perspective, it's actually weird because she's calling me now. It's weird. She just, I don't know if this thing is live, but it's too early. I don't think they are up. Am I allowed to answer it? So you can record it and we hear. But I'm not. But I'm a firm believer because I pray. I pray, I believe, and I always try and make sense of things. So the one thing about what you just asked me is to say, all right, she's here, she's my daughter. I mean, there's no way that I will walk away from her. And growing up playing soccer on the streets, you'll have boys that you know that they don't have fathers. And I knew one thing about myself, that I had a dad and I had a mom. They never separated. May my dad's soul rest in peace today. But I understood one thing, that I get into a stepmother, stepping. But as you grow old, you see it happening. Now you have to take a decision that, do I want to have a step? Is it going to be sustainable? No, it's not going to be sustainable. Right? Now what we do is this. Let's go. She's here. Oh, I meet my wife now. She was not my wife then. I remember I said to her, listen dude, I've got a child. Do you think you'll be able to love my child? Do you think you'll be able, as Majida, I'm telling you, 2005, 2006, it was so important to me to understand. I don't know why, I don't know how it came about, but I said to her, I've got a child. Do you think you can love my child? And she will say yes or no, just to pass conversation. But I asked it twice, third time, and the fourth time. And she said to me, why are you constantly asking me about this question? It was important, and I'll tell you why. If she's not going to love my kids, and she's my wife, then the whole thing, it will be beetroot.
Exactly.
Have you ever put beetroot in the plate? Yeah, like you'll have your pumpkin, coleslaw, 7 colors. It's a beetroot do it. It's an ammo. But if it's an ammo hold, it has to be based and informed on why.
For sure.
And I asked her, I said, listen, don't just say yes, you love my child. And thanks God, we didn't even have kids, me and her then. Because I think our first child came, because it's 2000, 3 years later, that's when we had a child. But I wanted to make sure that if I'm leaving the baby mama today, I don't want to call her baby mama. Miss DJ. When I left Miss DJ, I wanted to make sure that wherever I'm going to, this person must love my kid. Because imagine this situation, touch wood. Because mom is not alive, I'm not alive, and Tuto only knows my wife. And she doesn't love her.
How's their relationship though?
They scheme. Like, Banaruna Modaban scam me. I can't believe that scam. No, like they sit there and they scam.
So basically, I almost called her by her name. I don't want to. So basically, she honored her response back then to you, and she's still continuing honoring that response to say yes.
You see, when you're married, because we are married, you know these things they've got, but I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable they've got a relationship. One, I'm comfortable that when both of them are fighting, they come to me, and you know what I do when they're fighting? I send back to them. Like, oh, low, not happy.
Yeah, when you're friends. Now when
they're fighting, they come to me, and I'm like, But I think it's very important to you as a father. One, you know your child is your child, whether you like it or not, whether we or not. But separate yourself from that. This is your child. This is your person that you've got, person that you love. I'm not even married, right? I'm married. There is no way I'm going to separate my marriage from my child, because the moment you start doing that, you've got a problem.
Sorry, just a moment. When we're passing there, please, women that are watching here today, don't be a market, because you always call guys, men are trash and all those things. I want to say to you, when you meet a guy and you fall in love with him and you want to commit, and you are being asked such questions, be honest. Don't steal the marriage in the expense of a child. Please don't do that. Okay. Your kids now in the marriage, are they know the sister, the big sister?
It's weird because she's 16 now. You know, if you've never had a teenage daughter or a teenager, if you don't raise a teenager, let me tell you, you wish they came with a textbook. Like, I will go for 2-3 weeks. That's what I'm saying to you now. She was calling me. That's why I asked you, like, hey, are you sure she's not? I was so adamant, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do from the onset. That if I'm going to have my daughter and I'm going to marry my wife and she's going to give me kids, my firstborn is a boy, right? Is a boy, and he needed to understand that I've got a sister. To an extent now, today they come to me.
How old is the boy?
13.
13.
Yeah. 13, and my firstborn is 16. Since you say to people that I'm a DJ, at some stage I'll go out and get like a party, and then you wake up in the morning and you're thinking, oh, what am I gonna plan my day? They once came to me and they said, yeah, I'm the firstborn. I even said to them, how? My chance? And then where's this question coming from? And she said, yeah, Papa, cause says he's the firstborn. And I told him I'm the firstborn. And I was like, but okay. Oh, this is I'm being haunted. My demons are now coming to me. And I said to them, okay, can we at least sit now and look at our ages? And they're like, okay, sure. And mind you, this is now 13, 16, and that was 10, 7 actually. I'm going to send you a picture when they were 3, like they were, and then you would see. Because when it came, it didn't make sense to them. no to me, but because today's kids are advanced. And if you are going to be a parent that you're not going to acclimatize with how advanced these kids are.
And how is your relationship with your son?
He's my boy. I said to him, as a businessman, I always say to him, and we fight. Well, we don't fight. Me, him, I've always said to him, you are the big boy. Because my daughter will get married.
For sure.
She'll get married and she'll go. But I want my firstborn to understand that it's not about him, it's not about me, it's about the family. The same way that my dad has left me with the boys. Do you understand? It's very important for us as that, and again, I don't have the textbook. I don't have.
Yeah, there's no textbook.
I wish I had it. You know, up until the day where we.
But you see, sorry to get in there, but you see, that is where your spiritual life,
Sure.
the intellectual of your spiritual life and the strength of your spiritual life comes in, because that is where you need the wisdom of raising kids. I mean, we are called great fathers, we are called great parents, not because we are great. I always tell my son that I'm not great. I look great because I had a great father. And the great father had a wisdom and a spiritual intellect. And he passed that to me, because remember, there are times when life will box you as an out.
Sure.
You know, like will knock you down, you know. And now you are having this woman, of which is a wife, that is busy, you know. And you're having a daughter, you're having your son, you know. And
you're mixing this both things.
You know, as a father, you need to keep your head high and be seen as this strong thing, you know.
Sure.
Of which, while you are on that, it is important and is acceptable, by faith, to break down as a man, to understand, because on your breaking down, that is where you heal, and that is where you gain momentum to carry on becoming this great father. Can
I maybe what you just said? It's very important as human beings. I'm not gonna say fathers, mothers. I remember there was one question that I asked my wife now. She was not my wife, she was my girlfriend then. I said to her, you need to understand something. And I remember Kosi was just born. I said to her, you need to understand something between me and you. If I'm going, let's say, touch wood, it doesn't happen. My kids are drowning and I've got one life jacket. Who am I gonna give it to? And I can't swim. Mind you, I can't swim. I've got one life jacket and these two kids can swim because I gotta be paid for them. I always tell my friends, I drink cheap alcohol because I've got high expenses for my kids. You know, who am I going to give my life jacket to? You see, it's easier for the one who's got one child. You will say, life jacket, hey, my daughter, hey, my son have. With me, who do I give the life jacket to? You see, it's no longer about, this is my daughter, this is my son. These are my kids. Who do you give it to? Who? I said to her, who will she give it to? She kept quiet. And it's those type of things that we must always think about. And if, whether you like it or not, as a parent, your instincts will kick in. But there will be a stage where if we started from the onset. Yes, make it difficult for this person. The baby, the mother to the boy, it needs to be difficult to say, yes, this boy is my son. This is not my daughter. But because before I even became a mother to this son, I was a mother to this one. What then?
Exactly.
And you know how we get there? I've got a theory, and my friends have said to me, no, your theory is not right. Are you ready for my theory?
You know what? Maybe. Okay, let's do this. Maybe hold that theory. We're gonna take a short break, and we're gonna come back. I need to hear the theory, and I'm gonna ask you, I think, 2 last questions, and then we're going to wrap it up and bring the show to the close. You are still tuned into Kabavovo YouTube channel. This is the Big G Productions. I am your boy Kabavovo, aka Vavelihle, the Big G Kupela. We're sitting with my great brother here, Mr. Piri, the businessman, the father, the husband, the great man, as you've already had for yourself. So we'll be right back, and then we're gonna carry on, and we're gonna put this show to rest. Happy Sunday to you. Welcome back. You're still tuning into Kabavovo YouTube channel. This is Ivo Talk, the show where we talk about everything else and we leave nothing unattended. It is a Father's Day edition. It is a Sunday morning, the 20th of June 2021. I hope you blessed wherever you are. Present. I hope this time I'm tie, nama socks, nama slippers, and all those things that they always do. They did better this time. We are still talking about Fiom, father outside, inside, father inside and outside of marriage. We're sitting with my great man here, Mr. Home Piri. And then, my brother, before we break, the question that I asked you, that I want to link this question to it now. I was asking you about your relationship with your son, and all those things. So what I want to find out is, what are the 3 things that are major things that you have taught your son as a man, that you know that even if you would die today, you know that those 3 things, no matter what happens in his life, it will guide him into the man that you would have loved to see him becoming if you were still around. And while you're answering those questions, maybe also give me, together with it, give me 3 elements of what a great father is, according to you.
Bro, it's too early, my man. But 3 things that I've always told, or that I wanted to instill to my son. It's 1, as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a male species, a lot is expected of you.
For sure.
Do you understand? And not all of us can take that experience. That's why I if you recall, when we went back, I said to him, if I die, you have to take over. And he was 9. He said, no, Papa, what? So number 1, is he, I'll give an example. Just the past 3-4 presidents in South Africa, they've always said, girl child and women. There's no way where they're saying to you, a girl boy, a boy child, girl boy, listen to me, boy child. Alright? That's number 1. Number 2, I think the only corporate that ever came through was a trekking company. And when you looked at that trekking company, it was based on, oh, these boys are stealing, these boys are stealing. I promise you, come. I promise you, Vedish. I promise you. We were all brought up that a father is a leader of the nation.
For sure.
I'm a firm believer that maybe it's our generation as dads. Maybe the generation of women, that the dads and the generation of women are not coming. Because when me and you grew up, your dad will say something in the time. Now our kids are growing up, you say something, the mother says something, it's confusion.
You know, it's interesting while you're saying that, because the verse that we read earlier on, it says, as a son or as a child, do not what you call forget your father's instruction and your mother's teachings. Do you understand? Because as a father, it's still both teachings. Do you understand?
It is.
But however, from where it comes from as a mother,
maybe how it's coming, how it's being. Because remember, your dad and my dad, your mom, my dad is gone. I could sit here. Actually, I will invite you to have a conversation about my dad's teachings. We what's the right word? Because I'm in front of camera now. I must get right words. We need to make sure, as we are building this next generation,
for sure,
what is that we are doing? Because
it's a legacy, my man. This thing,
legacy, I can see, my brother. What we honestly don't have the teachings from our dads, from our moms. Because if we had that, and by those teachings I mean your grandmother, my grandmother, your grandfather and my grandfather. Those are the teachings. Because of your mom and my mom, your dad and my dad, they got the teachings. And what happened to them? Immediately, freedom. My man, I'll give you an example. Stupid example. You and me, your son and my son, we all get to experience technology together. WhatsApp, Facebook, and everything. What am I going to teach my son about WhatsApp?
Nothing.
Because we both experiencing this thing at the same time. There's this thing that we just Snapchat. Oh, dear. Do you understand? I can sit and listen to YFM. We all grew up listening to YFM.
For sure.
Our kids are now listening to YFM. Your YFM today and my YFM, their YFM, it's different. Are we now going to say they are wrong, we are right? They are right, we are wrong. And don't forget, I've got the grandparents. You and I were whipped. Can I know what's about the vaslapa means? But why vaslapa? You know, if you ever bought a vaslapa, impia, you're white. After 3 months or like saying vaslapa, it was koroplapa. Well, because so if you understand what vaslapa, the koroplapa again. That's how life becomes. Are we now going to take our kids, my son, your son, and we put them there? No, we can't. Are we now going to talk to the matraki, which is the Bogot Zabajeko? Where are we? We personally, I think we have just outsourced the responsibility. If we had, and I respect being here, and you know what it took for me to be here. I even said to you, I will make it. I personally think that as parents of the millennials, what we say, 2000, 2000. I honestly believe and think we have outsourced being parents. Like you would have, see, my coffee's cold now. Instead of me saying, hey, go warm up my coffee, I was like, this is wrong. I must stand up.
Because it's like you're abusing the child. Okay. As a businessman, how do you balance your fatherhood and your time with your kids and your wife and all those things? As a father, how do you juggle those things around?
You see, I've always believed that you make time for things that you love. If I don't love watching Kaiser Chiefs, I'm a Chiefs fan, I would never make time for Chiefs. But because I love Chiefs, I would make time. I would not watch the live game, but I know maybe Monday, Tuesday, they'll have a repeat and make time. Always make. The fact that you're not going to make time for this thing that you love, you love it. But if you love it, you'll make time for it.
Wow. If you love it, you'll make time for it. So now, the last question that I'm gonna...
Is this the last one? I have to go to church.
We will have... bear in mind, we'll have to have a part 2 of this. Because this what you call topic is very, very important. And I love the information that we're getting here. I hope it is helping you there at home. The question that I want to ask you is, as we're talking about father in and outside marriage, what are your challenges? Have you ever had any challenges with that situation? And how did you get to, move around or work those challenges around?
You see, it's never enough. As a father, I would think I'm doing enough, but it's never enough. And I'll give you a stupid example. My daughter doesn't stay with us full time, and my daughter is so fortunate that she can choose where she's going. But if she's not at my house when I'm having supper, I always ask myself, is she eating? Is she eating?
I just want my brother here to give an advice to, as part of closing up, in terms of people that find themselves in the same situation shortly. What can you tell them, or what can you advise them shortly?
Unfortunately, you can't close this thing. because
it's long.
Yeah, because
hence I say that look out for part 2, for part 3. Maybe we'll go to even 5 with this thing, because we need to fix this thing, and we need to fix our man, because once our man is fixed in our society, then our society is fixed.
You see, unfortunately, it gets to a point whereby we grow. We grow, we get older, but at the same time as boys, and boys meaning as fathers, as men, one call each other out. I mean, I've been told to get off. I drink my Heineken. I've seen my friends having and popping champagnes, and knowing that you, not specifically you, that dude, your baby mama just said you didn't buy formula. I will buy formula on your behalf, because I'm thinking, my friend doesn't have the money to buy a formula. But two things. As a father and a husband, be honest to yourself.
For sure.
You're not going to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
You're not. And if someone's gonna come to you and say, "Oh, you were sitting there by a cup of ovo," and then you're not perfect, you can say, "Of course." Even Jesus.
I'm not perfect myself.
Even Jesus is not perfect, my brother. But what he always wanted to do was to be, I will tell you exactly the truth. When you brush your teeth in the morning, you might not agree with me now, but tomorrow morning, you would know, hey, this guy was right. We need to stop trying to focus on, what I said was right. Do you understand? It's not gonna take us anywhere.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time and this morning. I hope you learned a lot on this show. We coming to the end of this show. We're gonna wrap up the show and say goodbye to you. Before we go in and pop the champagne there, let's say goodbye to the viewers.
Honestly speaking, this guy is the only and the first guy who's ever broken in front of camera. And I don't know why I agreed, but because I know you, I respect your values, and I've always thought, we both know it, man. It was in corporate.
Sure.
And as fathers, as men, as brothers, as young boys, we've got a lot of work to do. I don't think there's a lot of work, but I think as the new generation of fathers, we've missed something.
Structure.
Yeah, somehow. And I don't think we're far apart. We can come back. Do you understand? And the more that we don't come back and link as men, I'll give an example. I know we're shutting down. You would look at Ubaba, strategy. I forget Brentwood. You would respect him. Today, if you're wearing hoodies, menu, it doesn't have to be like you're wearing a hoodie or a Brentwood. But what are we missing as fathers? Like, 2020, 2021, dads, what are we missing? What are we missing? Where do we find it? How do we fix it? Because if we are not going to fix it as the new generation, remember with the new generation,
we're gonna have a problem.
We've got a problem.
Yeah, no, it's gonna like grow this problem.
We've got a problem. The problem is my 2000. So I don't have the solution. I don't, but I'm willing to be up there to find it.
Wow, thank you so much, my brother, for your time. I really appreciate it. God bless.
Jeez.
And we're gonna have more of this, definitely. Okay, only for our talk, you can't just go like that. We got you something just to say thank you for your time. I hope you're gonna use this. This is to say Happy Father's Day to you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks,
We
brother.
need people like you. We need people like you. We have to do this, especially as our brothers. Understand?
Let's pop that thing, and
Can I finish my coffee? Can I?
can you do us the honors?
Sure.
while he's busy doing the honors, I just was going to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, starting with my great father in heaven, my late father. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, salute, Kwabe Omuhle, for the teachings and the lessons and the instructions that you gave me. I am who I am today just because of what you've done. Also to my brothers from the leader, the firstborn, Umalusi, Umbusu Gelele, and then the prophet, Sebonga, and Usbusiso. To all the friends, wow, that was nice. Wow, Wafetu. What a show that we had today. I'm sorry that it went a bit longish than the time that we've planned to do on the show of Talk, but it was a special show of Father's Day, so please do forgive us. I hope you've learned a lot from our guest, Mr. Piri, and like I said, this thing is a big thing. This thing of being a father is a big thing. It's not something that you can finish in a day or in a 30-minute show. It needs time. So we've agreed with him. We're gonna have some more episodes and have this thing, talk about this thing, because there's so many things that we need to talk about. Because I always say that if you can fix the man, you have fixed it. You fixed the society. Don't forget, my friend, to subscribe and share and like and do what you're supposed to do. Your support is really appreciated. I, as your boy Kabavovo, aka Vavelihle the Picture Kupela, as IAS, appreciate and respect and honor your support continuously. To all the fathers out there, Happy Father's Day. I hope you get spoiled today and then you enjoy your day. As of our talk, we love you and we salute you. That's why I come in and say, your son all the time. Ola, salute, we out. Cheers.